Alrighty, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Speed Gaming for another sneak peek at this brand new game, Bite the Bullet. I'm August 40th, joined by Captain Carper. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I appreciate it. So, are you Mr. 40th, or do I refer to you as August? What's the best way to do this?
Yeah, you can call me August.
Okay, August. Well, I'm excited to run shotgun here with you.
Yeah. You are a member of the development team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. So I'm at MegaCat Studios. I run the marketing for Bite the Bullet.
Nice. So part of the run, gun, and eat that we got going on here.
Yeah. So it's it feels and plays a lot like a Contra or a Metal Slug. So really fast-paced action, lots of run and gun gameplay. But every enemy is edible, and your dietary choices drive your character development. So think the fast speed of run and gun, but the deep complexity of an RPG. So we have a few Path of Exile fans on our development team. So you'll see some pretty big skill trees in this game, and you'll see a lot of character choice that goes with it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. After this game gets released, as you might notice from the title, it's a sneak peek. But after it gets released here on Speed Gaming, we're going to do a race for the record. So I'm really looking forward to sort of which dietary choices prove out to be some of, at first, the faster routes throughout the game. But I'm expecting, within a week or two, that somebody's going to come out and say, no, you guys are eating the wrong things.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities on the build side to really customize, and also I imagine break this game at some point along the way, just by the way you can min-max and choose how you're progressing through the levels here. There's going to be some interesting creativity when the record does get going. That's a cash prize for the record, so if you haven't joined the Speed Gaming Discord, you should check that out. I believe there's $1,000 on the line for the first prize, and that's sponsored by Balls Guarana. If you guys are familiar with Balls, the energy drink, they're helping make this possible.
Yep, but that will be in a couple weeks. First, we've got Yagamoth versus SirNiko. They're going to be running this game blind for about 90 minutes. And we're going to see who can get the furthest, the fastest today. Does look like Yagamoth is started up the tutorial.
Yeah, he got a head start here and learn how to play the game, learn the basic mechanics here of stunning your enemy. Once you stun the enemy, then you can go up and eat them, and that's going to be a big part of the gameplay. You'd think you want to eat every enemy, but really that's going to be a strategic choice, especially when you start picking a character class. And that character class, if you're a robovore, that means you eat metal, primarily robots. Once you choose to be that character class, you eat outside of your dietary group, there's a big chance your character will throw up and you'll lose your macronutrients, your calories, and your protein, which is going to be a big loss for you down the road. So it's a big commitment to choose a dietary path here.
Yep, I love the science that went in behind this. Also looking forward, hopefully these runners were paying attention in that tutorial. The first two sneak peeks we hosted here on Speed Gaming, I think the first one, someone accidentally went into Zombro mode. But other than that one accident, we haven't seen any Zombros.
Yeah, Zombro mode's been criminally underutilized in these showcases, I think, because they're running through the tutorial so quickly and not really checking on controls. We also haven't seen a whole lot of really deep skill tree selections here, and I think that's gonna play out in the future as being a pretty big deal when we get the chase for the record going.
Yeah, absolutely. But looks like Yagamoth has started up, going through a little bit of the lore here on the train.
Talking to our janitor. So it's a pretty expansive universe. So Darwin Corp is who Chewie works with. Chewie is the male character, Chuel is the female character. And Chewie is part ghoul, which means that he can eat and collect DNA of anything he kills along the way here. And that's going to be part of his official mission for Darwin Corp, is to collect as many DNA samples from this ghoul-ravaged Earth as possible.
Looks like SirNiko also going with Chewie.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice. Oh, a salt and pepper rifle.
I'm all for the salt, not a big pepper guy.
So I was telling Yagamoth before the race started that I was hoping he'd keep a lot of his shenanigans to a minimum, because I've watched a lot of Secret of Mana runs with Yaga at the helm. So I'm sure if someone's going to figure out how to bite the bullet, it's going to be him.
Week 1, we saw a little bit of breaking around the elevators, and then week 2, we discovered that you guys weren't very happy with how quickly they ran it the first time. So all the bosses got quite a bit harder. And then we saw a multi-segmented worm that maybe shouldn't have been multi-segmented.
Yeah, it's one thing to balance a game for casual players, and we've done a ton of convention testing and a ton of testing through our Discord and beta. It's another thing to see, I would argue speed gamers are professional gamers. It's nothing to see a professional gamer run through run through your game and play it in a different way. So we've been learning from each of these showcases and using it to improve the game along the way. The feedback's been fantastic.
Yeah, really looking forward to the final finished product, but definitely agree. Speedrunners are looking for ways to break the game, because when you break the game, it tends to get you from point A to point B a little bit faster.
Yeah, there's so many different play styles, and when you sit at an event like PAX or TwitchCon or E3 and watch new players pick up the controller, you'd be surprised how they choose to play the game or the choices that they make along the way or what hangs them up and what doesn't. So it's always the best kind of education to see players actually playing. As unintuitive as that sounds, it's really easy to make assumptions about what a player does, but this kind of stuff is the best way to improve and iterate.
See Yagamoth doing a bit of chowing down. It seems to have the basic mechanics in tow. He's got that dash jump going on.
I mean, he's taking his time to figure things out here and get a handle of the gameplay. He's not rushing as much as our first week runners. He's jumping into a teleporter here.
A little bonus room. No warp whistles or anything like that, but some goodies.
There's lots of lard buckets though. And the lard buckets have a ton of calories because they're all fat. So that's a really great way to bulk up your character if you want, or it could be a pretty painful slowdown if you weren't ready for it.
Slows you down, but adds a little pack to your punch, and I believe we've got Zombro mode going on.
We got Zombro.
He adds a little extra punch to him.
Yeah, with Zombro, you're mostly invulnerable throughout the gameplay. And, well, it looks like interesting happenings with Chewie there. Got Chewie the half-torso.
I imagine Zombro mode might be quite beneficial during a boss fight if you can manage to save up your resources.
Absolutely, and it's also incredibly useful for the really hectic areas of a world with lots of enemies and lots of projectiles. Zombro mode can be a great way to kind of skip over being a fragile human for a little bit and pound your way through it.
Oh, fragile half ghoul.
Fragile half ghoul. I mean, I don't want to assume anyone's species here. This is really important that we give ghouls the credit they deserve. So as Chewie's moving through the sewers here, both players aren't very far apart. And as we look at, just as I say that, Yaga jumps into the toxic sludge.
Yeah, I really think SirNiko may be doing a bit more running and gunning as opposed to like studying the mechanics and figuring out the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm curious to see where that'll pay off. I think in this hour-and-a-half showcase, there might be a bit more for just the straight run and gun. But in the long term, I think that study approach that Yaga's taken will have the bigger impact.
Time will tell. Looks like SirNiko switching up to the shotgun.
And he's got Zombro mode there ready for him. I don't know if he knows how to use it, but it's available. If he's down on the D-pad, he can jump into his invincibility mode. Another special room here. It's a challenge room.
Probably won't be seeing a whole lot of these in the upcoming weeks racing for the record.
Yeah, I imagine players will learn to use them strategically. If you get in there and get a good calorie boost from that room we saw earlier with the lard buckets and the vegetables, that'd be a great way to stock up on calories pretty quickly. That's part of your strategy. But I imagine once players get a handle on the mechanics, they'll focus on really quickly grabbing the guns they need. And Yaga hits the end of the level here. He's got to puke on the scales in order to finish. There we go.
But SirNiko not far
clear.
behind at all.
Very close.
Just,
he's very close.
Entering that bonus room. So now Yagamoth is stepping up on that skill tree, choosing the best dietary plan for his fancy.
Yeah, this very first level, as far as unlocking nodes here, not going to have too much of a major gameplay implication for him. He's going to have to get a few levels deeper to really see that happen. But this is a start.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. And I imagine there will be plenty of racers and players and viewers starting up that good old debate is which dietary plan is the best.
I'm a robovore myself. I feel like eating metal is the way to go.
Feel bad for your liver.
But I do enjoy a Korean barbecue, so that's gonna be that's a tough choice for me to make. So the robovore class, when we were doing the research for the game, we actually thought robovore was a little outlandish, but it turns out there are real life robovores.
I'm not too surprised. This is 2020.
So we met the LA Beast. He's a YouTuber, competitive eater. He holds the world record for eating the most light bulbs. He's also eaten several cactuses in a row. Cactuses. The plural of cactus. The plural of a cactus. He ate several of those on his YouTube channel, and he casually told us that he would like to eat a bicycle, an entire bicycle. He's trying to find the right blender to do that.
Wow, well that sounds like something to mark on your calendar.
So, Bite the Bullet's weird, but turns out humans are just as weird.
Oh yeah, there's always a bigger fish and there's always a weirder fish in the sea.
And apparently some of those fish are trying to eat a bicycle. So our racers are still pretty close here. Yaga's got a little bit of a lead right now. I think Nico is just about to catch up.
Yeah, we're almost neck and neck. So definitely looks like SirNiko on a slightly faster pace. But Yagamoth seems to have gotten Zombro mode down.
He's using it pretty strategically, and I don't think I've seen Nico pull it out once yet. I think if he started using it a bit more, understood that mechanic, he might almost quickly pass up Yaga, because he's, to your point, keeping a pretty good pace here. But the Labyrinth of the Sewers has bested many people, so we'll see how quickly they navigate through here.
You do have to be mindful of their resources, their health bar, and see SirNiko doing a little bit of item creation.
Yeah,
if those guns.
If you eat a rotten item or a rotten enemy, that triggers your crafting menu. So since you're part ghoul, all your crafting occurs in your stomach, and then you puke up the weapon once you're done. So there's a risk there. If you eat a rotten enemy too early, you'll end up sacrificing a lot of those resources that you collected by eating before. So you want to make sure you grab that rotten item, that rotten enemy, just the right time when you're ready to upgrade something.
It's exactly what my biology teacher told me in high school.
It's a tough lesson to learn as a kid, but everyone's got to learn it someday. So we're still slugging our way through here. Haven't gotten a lot of weapon variety just yet. We're still seeing some pretty straightforward shotgun and assault rifles. Looking forward to when we see maybe a railgun, maybe a critter cannon. Those going to definitely open up the gameplay a bit more when those come around.
Critter cannon, definitely my favorite gun.
It's an office favorite. Let me tell you what. We've wasted plenty of time playing with that critter cannon.
I think my primary ammo would be those tiny little dogs, mostly Chihuahuas.
You went right to the tiny dogs, huh?
Oh yes.
I mean, they are supposed to be the most vicious. So I think Nico just pulled ahead here.
Yes, sir. Looks like it.
Yaga having a little trouble with the spikes there.
Oh yeah, that's our first game over. Yikes. Hopefully doesn't set him back too far.
So Nico is still working through the same chunk of the level. So he's not too far ahead from where Yaga was, but that death is definitely going to slow Yaga down pretty considerably. And Nico's mastering the punch dash. It's a big part of the platforming, big part of the navigation, and he's using that a lot more effectively now. It's going to give him a lot more speed now that he has that figured out.
Yep, only took less than 14 minutes, but he's gotten it going. And definitely Yaga is on a bit of a quicker pace. Doesn't feel good to game over.
No, it doesn't. He's still got to be a little mindful of his health, though. He's doing a lot of running, not enough gunning, and that's costing him some lives here.
Both of these racers good under pressure. Previous mystery tournament participants. That's where they run a game completely blind, all for the joy of you, the viewers.
Nico's really picking up steam here. He's on the next part of the train, and he's taking advantage of that punch dash to cover a lot of ground here and pick and choose his battles. So he's not fighting every enemy he encounters. And I think Yaga's starting to pick up a similar philosophy here to try to catch up.
Yeah, I think about 15 minutes is all these guys need, and now they're gonna really start pushing that pedal to the metal.
Well, we have a game over on Nico's side.
Oh man, turn away for a second.
That's going to set SirNiko back quite a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, was just about finished with that section. So these racers playing a little ping pong with the lead.
But now they know where they're going. They're going to cover a good bit of ground pretty quickly, I imagine.
Yaga taking a brief pause.
He's in the Smorgasbord Challenge. So this is a special challenge room. Not super speedrun friendly, but a great place to pick up some extra upgrades if you're playing casually, or maybe using strategically if you're racing the game. And no
There's the
dice
fail.
there. Yeah.
And that will allow SirNiko time to catch up. Unfortunately, not gaining much for Yaga for that time wasted in there.
Nico avoiding the bonus rooms.
Not avoiding the glowing green liquid though.
No, I mean, if you see glowing green liquid, you almost gotta take that chance, right? Because it could be your moment to get superpowers.
Yeah, it is a calculated risk one has to take. I think though in this environment, it's best to avoid glowing green goo.
I would say so, but I think we've all dreamed of having our own superhero origin story. Never quite happened for me.
I always envisioned a magic lamp, or maybe aliens. I stayed away from the green goo.
Ah, you went the magic lamp route. I guess I was
Oh, yeah.
a bit more Marvel influenced. I always assumed I'd get bit by something, and that would be the secret to surviving 8th grade.
And little does everybody know, there is no secret.
No,
Good old RNG.
8th grade's hard no matter what.
No, the RNG gods can bless you or curse you.
Yeah,
But it is just RNG.
So Nico's making good progress again here. Climbing his way out of the sewers.
Always a good direction to be headed.
So back on the train, he's about recovered the ground that he had lost before.
Yaga, I think, lost a bit of ground failing that bonus, that Smorgasbord mission. So that
Definitely slowed him down, yeah.
I think that's what allowed Nico to pass him up.
Yeah, Nico's definitely taken the much more aggressive approach to navigating level. I think from the very beginning that was definitely the case.
And both runners, though, rocking that shotgun. Seems to be one of the favorites.
Yeah, if you're just plowing through the level, you're gonna end up close quarters with mobs anyways. The shotgun's a good choice. I think that'll change up in World 2 here. I think we'll start to see a bit more variety as the world opens up, a lot more platforming in the next stage coming up here.
Nico is dashing through that train, sorry.
He's coming up on the first boss fight, the Gigavulture. Be interesting to see what strategy he takes there for solving that particular challenge. Still making good use of the dash jump.
Unfortunately, no coconuts to knock on his noggin. Probably gonna use that gun. Definitely take a moment to appreciate the awesome music that's going on in the background.
Yeah, our musician Mitch gets the shout out here. All original music, all specifically for our games. So we're pretty blessed to have his talent.
Always a big fan of the electric guitar rocking out.
We have a pretty deep metal history at MegaCat. One of our first flagship titles was Coffee Crisis. It was about heavy metal baristas trying to save the world from aliens. The aliens had come to Earth to steal our coffee, our Wi-Fi, and our heavy metal.
Uh-oh.
So we've had heavy metal in our roots for a pretty long time.
I know you can't kill rock and roll. I've never heard any songs about trying to steal it.
Well, it's out there. Those aliens are wily fellas.
So that's what the Borg were up to.
So Yaga's back here in another bonus room, playing some gambling mini games.
Nice.
Got a bonus upgrade.
Definitely missed that in our first 2 sneak peeks. Fortunately, they did not manage to break it.
Fortunately.
No, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. So Nico looks like he's put on a little bit of bulk here. He's consumed quite a bit of calories. So when you eat a lot of calories and don't move enough, your character has put on mass, and that's a strategic trade-off here, because the mass can be a buffer, gives you a little bit more hit points, gives you a little bit more durability, but it makes your platforming a little bit slower. So
calories in, calories out.
Yep, and he chowed down a few of those lard buckets, and those lard buckets add up those calories pretty quickly.
Making great use of that dash, though. Speaking of dash, Yaga now dashing along the train.
Covering a lot of that ground. Yeah, Yaga's starting to pick up the speed here.
Needs to pick up a little health, I think.
He is running his health meter dangerously low. Oh man, one of the crawling zombies got him.
That's what we call a commentator's curse.
You did call that right out for him.
Don't put it all on me.
I think that was entirely your fault.
Damn it.
Entirely your fault, August. That's you have to take some responsibility there.
So SirNiko's not going to have any problem with the boss up here.
He's running his lives a little low there. He's taking a lot of damage as he tries to just skip ahead. He's doing a good bit of running. Hasn't really pushed a whole lot of the gunning forward. We've also not seen a whole lot of use of the shield. The shield's a good way to protect yourself when things get hairy.
Hairy or slimy, maybe a little stinky.
Yeah, things get a little hungry out there. But Nico currently has a pretty significant lead over Yaga. That last death Yaga took hurt him pretty badly.
Didn't mean to, alright?
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about this community being so supportive, and you're just out here killing our runners. It's just, it's really tough.
Well, luckily they have unlimited lives and continues and all that jazz.
They do indeed. They do indeed. Another big climb up here for SirNiko. Plowing forward once again. That big open stretch in the train feels good after crawling around the sewers for several minutes.
Definitely tons of enemies, though.
There are a lot of enemies. There's quite a few robots that are chasing him right now.
Oh.
And another death.
More game overs. Yikes. Awesome game over music.
Fantastic indeed.
Just like that, ping-ponging back and forth with this lead.
So I wonder if we'll see any strategy changes in terms of their gameplay here. Now that they both faced a few game overs and lost a good bit of progress for it, I wonder if they're going to change up how they're approaching the enemies or how they're approaching the platforming.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot to be in. You don't know where your opponent's at. You do know that they're running the game blind just like you, but no idea if they're having as much trouble as you or not.
So if this were you, August, and you were running this game blind, would you blow forward with reckless abandon, or would you take your time to pick up some nuances and hope that that gave you the advantage?
Definitely the former at the start, but I think after second, possibly the third game over, then I might stop and read a little bit more. Never the biggest fan of reading, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely... Oh, we have Nico backing out of the level completely.
Oopsie.
Yeah, that's gonna be painful. That puts him all the way back at the beginning.
Well, that's what reading will get you.
That is what reading will get you. Yes, indeed.
Looks like Yagamoth is on his skill tree.
He's exploring some of the options here. I don't know that he has enough of the previous nodes unlocked.
I think just doing a little bit of research as to which path he wants to take his belly down.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's quite a few modifiers and bonuses you can unlock if you stack up your skill tree appropriately here.
And we saw last week in the sneak preview, one racer decided just to hoard a bunch of points until I think the last 20 or 30 minutes of the race.
Oh, that's interesting. And then just blew the character out from there?
Yes, sir.
What did that lead to?
I think he had the lead, but that was due to the broken worm.
The broken worm.
Yeah, generally you want your worms intact.
So it looks like Yaga's picked a character class he wants to focus on here. I didn't catch which one, but now he's going to be pretty committed to that certain diet type. And that's going to mean that if he eats outside of his dietary skill tree, he's likely to throw up. I mean, he's likely to lose a lot of his calories and protein and macronutrients he picked up, which could make crafting difficult and also cost him some health.
Yeah, once you get your microbiome used to a certain diet, it's best to stick to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it looks like he also exited.
Oh, man. Well, at least they're both making the same mistakes.
Yes, indeed.
Makes it a bit more exciting for us and the viewers at home.
Yeah, all the way back to the beginning of the train. Should be a little bit easier now that he's upgraded his character. So you have some better stats here to work with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the second playthrough of the level should go faster.
In theory, he's got some better weapons. He's got some better stats. Look at all those enemies following SirNiko down the sewer.
Better zombies than clowns, in my opinion.
You know what? That's a tough one. It's a tough one. Are clowns a deep, dark August secret?
Yes. Clowns, pretty scary, in my opinion.
Is it all clowns, or just a particular type of clown that bothers you more than others?
Yeah, particular types. Chuck E. Cheese also in that category.
Chuck E. Cheese is a little different, I feel like. I was gonna ask you if it's like the old-timey sad clown that does it for you. Is it like the circus bright clown that does it?
Definitely the Stephen King type clowns.
Definitely the Stephen King type clown. I understand that. I understand that. If I was able to eat a zombie chasing me, I don't know if I'd be that afraid of it. That sounds more like an opportunity.
Yeah, I guess in terms of zombies, clowns probably be, tastier than, say, truck drivers.
Interesting. So a clown is tastier than a truck driver. Is that because clowns eat more sweets? Is that the theory?
That would be my theory. Maybe they have some jelly beans in their socks or something.
Jelly beans in their socks. Yeah, I guess that's interesting texture to encounter when you think you're having a big side of clown. Suddenly there's jelly bean.
And the worry though is getting, a squeak toy stuck in your throat.
Yeah, but you could also end up with some good cotton candy. So it seems like a risk worth taking.
Ooh, yeah, cotton candy. There you go.
I guess the truck driver approach, you might get some beef jerky.
No, there's like a hospital and an underground lab. No circuses, right?
No, there are no circuses.
Maybe for the prequel.
I don't know if we're gonna get as far as the hospital on this round.
Yeah, definitely looks like a bit of a challenge. Not having as easy a go as first 4 racers to run this blind. Anyone who missed those, the VODs are up on twitch.tv/speedgaming. Possibly speedgaming 2.
There was,
of course, on
some
the
pretty
YouTube
stellar
channel
commentary
as well.
in those. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Nico is struggling a little bit with his health again here. He's getting swarmed by enemies. He's doing a lot of the running and not enough of crowd control here, and that's creating problems for him. I feel like that's what hung him up to the last run through on this level.
Speaking of crowd control, that reminds me of the crowd control like feature, where it is interactive with your Twitch chat.
Yeah, so we're big fans of the Warp World guys, and we're big fans of Twitch, and we've every time we make a game now, we think about Twitch first. It's kind of a day one design decision for us. So Bite the Bullet launches with several Twitch integrations and Twitch interactives, so that if you stream it, your audience can impact what happens in the game.
Definitely a cool feature. I hope becomes the standard amongst developers.
Absolutely.
As well as the game will feature some co-op mode as well, I understand. So definitely
there is a co-op mode. Yeah, I mean we're you couldn't tell from the retro ethos we got here. We're big retro fans, and a big part of that retro experience was having like Dorito dust all over your fingers and tossing a controller back and forth with your friends, hanging out in the basement. So we often think about that experience too, trying to rekindle a little bit of that magic. So co-op was a must-have for this game for us.
Well, thankfully, no need for that Konami code in 99 Lives.
Not exactly. There are plenty of secrets though in Bite the Bullet. There's a lot of hidden corners here, a lot of bonuses and content to discover.
Yeah, if you think the race for the record's going to be exciting, I can't wait for the 100% runs.
100% runs would be pretty intense. It would be pretty intense. So we're gonna do any percent for our race for the record.
Yes.
So we're still cranking away at World 1. We're seeing a little bit of a strategy change. Yaga's definitely picking up some confidence here and getting a little bit more aggressive, moving through things a little bit more quickly. And Nico is still struggling with that health management.
Also have seen Yaga kind of utilize that Zombro mode, which might increase his speed through these sewers and whatnot. I believe Yaga has reached a checkpoint of sorts.
Mm-hmm. Getting back pretty deep in the level here.
Both racers riding that train.
Yeah, they're catching up here. They're not quite neck and neck, but they're close-ish. They're not quite as close as they were before, but this is still anyone's race.
Still about 50 minutes left. Reminder, anyone just joining us, this is a brand new game coming out March 26th. The developers kind enough to give us here at Speed Gaming a sneak preview. We've showcased this twice now before on the channel, but these two racers running it blind. Furthest in 90 minutes will be declared the victor.
So Nico's making good progress here. I think he's found the pace, found the rhythm.
I've also probably found a gun he likes.
He's enjoying that shotgun. So one of the other competitive eaters that we interviewed as part of the research for this game, his name is Crazy Legs Conti. He had his first name legally changed to Crazy Legs, so his name is Crazy Legs. He's the Houdini of Cuisine. He once ate out of a popcorn sarcophagus. He ate cannolis on The Sopranos. But he told us that if you're gonna be an eater, you need to think with your enteric brain, your gut brain, the brain in your stomach. You need to learn to commune with that. And that's the secret to becoming one with your food and eating obscene amounts of food. He spent several minutes explaining this like philosophy's end of how you eat.
It sounds like he's developed a lot of truthiness. Sounds like Stephen Colbert could probably do a pretty good job as a professional eater. Definitely not an easy lifestyle choice to make, but hey,
they're all
use them.
Incredibly disciplined, surprisingly.
Oh, unfortunately, SirNiko taking another death. Looks like Yaga trying to do some braking, trying to jump up that pillar, but no go.
Back down in the sewers. Ooh, Nico fell on some moving train tracks there. Never good for your health. He's navigating backwards here. Maybe he's trying to stack up some calories pretty quickly.
Yeah, there are a couple levels where you're going left, but generally you want to go right.
Generally, yeah. This very first level especially doesn't lean as hard in the Metroidvania elements as future levels. Kind of mostly designed to get your feet wet here and get your, I guess I should say, to whet your appetite. Ha ha ha.
I definitely don't want to spoil it, giving racers too many paths too quickly. Now I'm moving back right.
Here's the moment I've been waiting for. Oh, he retreated. We're so close.
Run away!
Ruined my my moment of suspense here.
How far is he gonna run back?
He needs to keep going right.
Unless he's really trying to break it. Maybe trying to get something to respawn?
No, I don't think so. I think
pack or something?
I don't know if there was a courage moment there. That maybe he lost the grit.
I don't think so.
Going back.
I think he was trying to wrong warp. Oh, I'm calling it.
Can't blame a runner for trying to wrong warp. Keeps hesitating on the going right.
Oh, looks like he found some sort of
Yeah,
there.
Fell between the train tracks, I think.
I mean, can't blame him. I see an 8 to 10 foot giant zombie vulture. I'd probably turn around and run the other direction as well. Well, it's gonna give Yaga a bit of time to catch up, despite packing on some of the pounds.
Retreated so far back that the level deloaded. That's fantastic.
Told you, he's trying to break it.
I think he might. I think he might.
And Yaga also trying to jump up that pillar.
So I think what actually might be happening is I think Nico found a way to break the game here. So the Giga Vulture is not loading.
Challenge one of these racers here on Speed Gaming. They'll live up to it. Oh wow, definitely breaking the train there. There's no more train tracks.
Yes, indeed. Not sure what the sequence break there was.
Well, SirNiko on the board with a game-breaking mechanic. Rule number 1 of Mario Maker applies to bite the bullet. Go right.
Go right indeed.
About halfway into this, I think we're gonna plug along here. Just gotta load the boss this time, Nico. Meanwhile, Yagamoth is plugging along.
Here's hoping the boss does load. Looks like it is not.
Ah, curious. I'm going back left. Maybe the boss will load for Yaga. He's making his way down there now. These racers are gonna high five here. Looks like Yaga has taken a game over. I'm not sure if we're gonna be continuing just this moment. It does look like that Giga Vulture not loading for SirNiko, so I think we're gonna call it there and bring our racers into the commentary channel here.
Well, it was very cool of the racers to join us. This was a lot of fun getting to showcase a little bit of Bite the Bullet here. Nico apparently is too good for us. Too good for Bite the Bullet.
Nah, nonsense. You know, these things just happen, and for whatever reason, the vulture's just it's turned into a chicken.
He was too afraid. He was too afraid.
Does look like we're gonna pass on post-race interview. Definitely give these racers a follow. Without them racing these races, we wouldn't have these races to watch being raced. And keep your eyes out for Bite the Bullet coming out March 26th to Steam, Switch, and Xbox One. Definitely looking forward to that. And the race for the record here on Speed Gaming. Yeah, so just stay tuned. We've got tons of stuff going on. Yeah.
Thank you for the stellar commentary, August, and thanks to Yaga and Nico for running the game. If you are watching and you don't follow either of these runners currently, you definitely should. They run fantastic streams and are super talented, so definitely worth the follow and definitely worth some extra views here.
And stay tuned for the race the record featuring a cash prize. So if you liked what you see, have no fear. The vulture and the bosses will spawn in the final product, and you can join the race for the record and get a shot at that $1,000 prize. And I think that will do it for us today night on Speed Gaming here with Bite the Bullet.
Yep.
I've been August 40th, joined by Captain Carper.
Thanks for having me, August. Yeah, I just wanted to throw out there really quick that we're also sponsoring the Super Metroid tournament that is going on currently. So if you're not signed up for that, you should definitely take a peek at those races as well. Those are pretty spectacular.
All right, that's it, everybody. See you later.
Good night.